It's 6 o'clock on Tuesday, the 21st of January, 2020. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to the English edition of Ora News. My name is Christopher, bringing you the only update of the local Albanian news translated into English. The 100th anniversary of the Lushnja Congress and the establishment of the Albanian parliamentarism was celebrated with many activities. The ceremonies began at the Congress House in Lushnja, attended by senior officials and descendants of the protagonist. Speaker Gramus Ruçi called the legionary participants of Albanian parliamentarians. The 21st of January 2020 is marked as the date of laying the foundations of the modern Albanian state and the birth of Albanian parliamentarism. The ceremonies for the 100th anniversary of the Lushnja Congress started where the story began. Parliamentarians all over the lawmakers, descendants of the delegates and citizens of Lushnja came together in front of the House of Congress. Gramus Ruçi was the Speaker of the Assembly for the centennial of the parliamentarism. In the Congress is where the consolidation of independent and parliamentary Albania began. From this House and this Congress began Albanian diplomacy in defense of the territorial integrity and the integrity of Albania, stated Gramus Ruçi. From this Congress began the construction of the Albanian administration, education, schools, and law enforcement. This House and the Congress became available for protection of the Albanians and became a historic house because of the decisions made here. Their vision, determination, and contribution is what allowed Albania to have a parliament. Eternal gratitude for this work that will not be forgotten even by the first MPs appointed by the Lushnja Congress. These became the legionaries of Albanian parliamentarism, and for this historical fact, the nation and history will forever be grateful to them. Congress held its work from January 21st to January 31st, 1920, laying the foundations of the modern state. It has adopted a constitution on Albania's full independence, elected a four-member high council that would carry out the functions of the head of state, and a national council of 37 members. Suleiman Delvina was elected prime minister. The time when the convention was convened, it was a tumultuous area for Albania. After the First World War, the country was in danger of being torn apart by the interests of the great powers and its neighbors that the Albanian state had recognized in 1913, but ended up almost with half of its territory as off limits. The head of the Special Prosecution Office, Arben Kraja, is wasting no time in reiterating the head of the prosecutor's office the request to fill the vacancy with the appointment of two prosecutors of the Special Prosecutor's Office. Invited to the regional conference, Financial Investigation of Corruption in Albania and Northern Macedonia, Kraja underlined the difficulties of investigating senior officials, and in this battle should all be together. Investigating and prosecuting senior officials obviously has its difficulties. They are powerful people dealing directly with different criminal situations. It requires a great deal of professionalism and objectivity, and it has been a month since the SPAC has been operational in Albania since December 20th, a period of war for us, who has gone to seize the situation at hand and take over the administration of the criminal proceedings received by the serious crimes prosecution and income from other prosecutions. The prosecution currently has 8 appointees and 2 provisional appointees. Since I have the chairman of the council, I have the opportunity to make a request to continue the procedure of appointing the 2 positions vacated by number 15 from the council because we truly need it. Kraja also underlined the importance of setting up the Bureau of Investigation. We have started investigations focusing on more important issues. We have restored contingencies with international partners on issues that are still under investigation. There are some joint investigations on behalf of foreign authorities. In the meantime, we have adopted the complete set of bylaws for the election of the director and members of the Bureau of Investigation. We currently have prosecutors but no investigators. Applications have started. We hope that by the 30th we will have as many candidates as possible so that we can choose the best and the most professional. The head of the Special Prosecution Office also underlined the joint work. You have to have a good legal basis, the structure, and will to succeed. We have all of them, but it will take some time to see the results. The important thing is that we are on the right track. To succeed, we must all work together. The barriers must be removed of who has or who doesn't have responsibility. We must be in front of everyone in the fight against crime, otherwise we will not succeed. Failure and success must be all together. The Democratic Party has described the appointment of Artur Metani as head of the High Justice Inspectorate unconstitutional. Jerim Jata said that contrary to the law, Metani has held political functions for the past 10 years. Artur Metani's appointment as head of the High Justice Inspector is described by the Democratic Party as the final blow to justice reform. From the blue seat, the Secretary for Legal Affairs said Parliament has violated constitutional and legal criteria after Metani had held political office for the past 10 years. Artur Metani is in a state of constitutional and legal detention. He has held the position of legal advisor to the President of the Republic, which is a political function. This is the worst violation by Parliament in appointing Artur Metani, but when it comes to the Prime Minister's loyalist, Parliament closes its eyes and votes on a null, unconstitutional act, Jatta said. According to Jatta, the election of Metani to ILD serves Prime Minister Edi Rama to seize the institution. The inspector has the power to review the work of the judges and prosecutors of the Republic and propose disciplinary measures to the High Council of the Prosecutor and the High Judicial Council as appropriate, even for the removal from duty. So Edi Rama is in the hands of the judiciary and prosecutors who did not comply with his orders, releases the inspector, namely Metani. Jatta said that no citizens no longer have confidence in the independence of the new justice bodies, and that the removal of Edi Rama is the only way to save the reform. Delays in the municipality's lease bonus and the difficulty of finding a new rental home are forcing many families in Leja to return to their insecure dwellings declared as uninhabitable. They say that the abandonment and impossibility are forcing them to live in danger. The Red Cross at the entrance indicates that these buildings in Leja are dangerous, but the residents affected by the November 26 earthquake are returning to live there despite their warnings. They are unaware of the danger they faced, but they say they have no other choice. By day, we are afraid to go out, and by night, we are afraid to enter our homes. On the other hand, many complain that they have not received the rental bonus from City Hall. In Leja, it has become difficult to find a rental home, and those remaining say they have raised prices. We have come out to look for a house, but since have learned that we have become fed up with the municipality. In the municipality of Leja, 10 buildings were built before 1990 were declared uninhabitable. The local government has not yet made a decision for them, and those who suffer the consequences are the residents who have been forced to live in danger. And finally, the number of accidents has dropped in the past year, but there has been an increase in casualties. According to Instat, the age group of 25 to 34-year-olds are responsible for about 91% of accidents. During the past year, 227 people were killed, comparing to the 213 in 2018 due to road accidents, although the number of accidents in total has decreased by 12.8%. According to Instat, in December 2019 alone, 187 people were injured, compared to 162 a year earlier, marking an increase of 15.4%. The high number of accidents occurred in 91.9% of cases as a result of driver behavior, one-third of these cases involving 25 to 34-year-olds. Pedestrian behavior has been the cause of 14% of accidents, but it has declined significantly compared to 2018. Tirana remains the highest county with 642 accidents and 50 fatalities. To curb traffic accidents, police have proposed tougher measures against people using their mobile phones while driving. Penalties are also sought when the same person reiterates the violation of the road code previously advised. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us every Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Ora News, thank you and good night.